Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Game of Thrones. Last time on Game of Thrones, we had Oathbreaker. Jon's back to life. Old Johnny Boy's back to life with the help of Melisandre. And he executed everyone that killed him, including little boy Ollie, which is fine by me. So, yeah, he executed them all, and then he gave up his cloak to Ed, and was basically like, you have Castle Black, and he started to walk off, and he just said, my watch has ended. Which makes sense, because he died, and that kind of releases him from his oath. So, yeah. Meanwhile, we had some more visions of the past with Bran, seeing Ned Stark's fight with Sir Arthur Payne. Let's see. The crew at Meereen is working on how to defeat once and for all the Sons of the Harpies by somehow defeating Astapor and Yunkai, which have been completely reclaimed by the Masters. There will be a trial by combat for the Faith Militant, where Cersei will be putting up the Mountain as her champion. Arya has fully embraced her new role as no one. Rickon came back. Rickon Stark is now at Winterfell under the watchful eye of Ramsay Bolton. And I guess that's pretty much that. So yeah, this is where I say no spoilers. Don't be a dick, no spoilers. And let's go ahead and get into this episode of Game of Thrones. Here we go.
You want me to stay here after that? Open the gate!
Hey! They made it to the wall. And Jon's alive! Yay! Yay! Oh.
I wish I could change everything.
We were children.
I was awful, just admit it.
You were occasionally awful. I'm sure I can't have been great fun, always sulking in the corner while the rest of you played.
Can you forgive me?
There's nothing to forgive.
Forgive me.
All right, I forgive you.
Aww. I'm so happy. New favorite episode right here.
Where will you go?
Where will we go? If I don't watch over you, Father's ghost will come back and murder me.
Yeah.
Home.
Back to Winterfell.
Or should we tell the Boltons to pack up and leave?
We'll take it back from them.
Hell yeah. She's gotten a lot tougher
I don't have an army.
in the last time.
How many
Since the
wildlings
last
did you
time
save?
she
They didn't
saw.
come here to serve me. I'm tired of fighting. It's all I've done since I left home.
Yeah.
I've killed brothers of the Night's Watch. I've killed wildlings. I've killed men that I admire. I hanged a boy, younger than Bran.
Yeah.
You can trust my absolute loyalty, my lord.
I think he deserves one more chance. What do you say?
Man.
Fine.
Man, it's crazy. This dude's scared of a young Jon Turturro.
I bring good news.
We should help her.
That was my instinct as well. Our Lord has spoken. Gather the Knights of the Vale.
Oh shit.
The time has come to join the fray.
Oh shit. The Vale is gonna help destroy the Boltons.
We will give you 7 years to end the practice.
7 years. Interesting.
Slaveholders will be compensated for the losses, of course, at fair prices. In exchange,
You have made peace with the slavers.
we offered terms.
Come on, Grey Worm. Back him up. He has a plan.
Nixkamminti dojuveni. Ili ohoneshi kelnis toejilisk. Midrejilisk. Inkizir jiracho.
Good.
Sunday.
Iuhe Silvie vala mera ife tredas. Verdi gelisk ilvi crenuntusi. Do il vira gerosi.
Good. Alright, he's got backing.
Do not use me for your lies.
Their contempt is their weakness. They'll underestimate us every time, and we will use that to our advantage.
You will not use them. They will use you. That is what they do.
Everyone has a solid point, but I'm more on Tyrion's side.
When Khal Drogo died, she was supposed to come here and join the Dosh Khaleen, the widows of the dead Khals.
Yeah.
That's where they'll have taken her. The temple of the Dosh Khaleen.
Okay, good. They at least know that. Please get her out this episode. Oh, man. Without his weapons. He's fought Blood Riders before, but... he did that with a full suit of armor and a weapon. Pocket sand. He brought a knife, didn't he?
If they find a body with a stab wound, the whole city will be looking for us.
Oh, make it look like a rock. Because that's more obvious than a stab wound. Problem solved. Oh good, she fixed her hair.
Come, let's go and see him. Your brother.
Is he okay?
I'm here to lend my wisdom and my support.
Thank you for your counsel, Grand Maester. That will be all for now.
Huh.
Your grace.
Go on. No one likes you, Pycelle. Can you please go faster?
You don't like Marjorie, do you?
Now he gets it.
Whether I like her or not, it's completely unimportant.
Well...
Marjorie is the queen.
yeah, if that was true, none of us would be in this predicament.
Kings even more so.
The king has ordered me to take no action against the High Sparrow or the Faith Militant out of fear for the queen's safety.
You will take no action at all. When the Tyrell armies come, you will stand down. Are you
Oh.
expressly forbidden from standing down?
No.
Let the Tyrells do
But
it.
if the king should
The
call
whole
on
thing
me,
will be over before anyone can call on you to do anything.
we'll have civil war. Many will die.
Many will die no matter what we do.
Yeah.
Better them than us.
Jesus. Okay. So he's already back. But Balon's dead.
They told me you were home and I didn't believe it.
No, I only heard he died after we docked.
You happened to show up on Pyke right before the King's
I
moved.
didn't know.
You think any Ironborn wants you to be king? After what you've done?
Damn it, he doesn't want to be the
I want
king.
to be king. You should rule the Iron Islands. Let me help you.
She'll go for that. She wants to rule the Iron Islands.
All about the Stark boys.
This is not
Who
gonna
helped
work.
them escape. And how she did it.
Oh. Damn it. Man, I liked her. She's gonna eat another fucking apple. Give this character an apple so he seems more like an asshole. You can cut it in a posh shit way too.
To the traitor and bastard Jon Snow.
Ooh.
You allowed thousands of wildlings past the wall. You have betrayed your own kind, you have betrayed the North. Winterfell is mine, bastard. Come and see. Your brother Rickon is in my dungeon.
Oh shit. Yeah, they have Rickon. Jesus.
Ramsay Bolton, Lord of Winterfell, and Warden of the North.
Yeah.
Lord of Winterfell and Warden of the North.
His father's dead.
Yep.
Northern families are loyal. They'll fight for you if you ask.
Come on, Jon.
A monster has taken our home and our brother. We have to go back to Winterfell and save them both.
Yeah! Bringing Sansa, new favorite character. Yes, good. Okay.
Ajin, ik half in thirnahan, ok senda trakoi. Alaji kesi mai ma vijazri atinarmai.
Ooh.
Vos mana vos khal.
Ooh.
Ana voka ki yeri. Vos ma an have drek.
Ooh.
Machin an have nok.
She's gonna recruit the Dothraki.
Yeri vosechi. Yeri vadrivoi.
Oh shit. Oh! Why is this place highly flammable? Okay, this entire plotline was worth it. I take it back. I'm sorry. And we were gonna save her. Evidently, she don't need saving. That's how good she is. Ooh. Holy shit. The unburnt bitch. Oh my gosh, bow before your dragon queen. Yeah, you two bow too. Here, I'll bow. Fuck. Gotta keep looking though. Yeah. Yeah, look at her! Look at her! Oh my gosh. Still favorite character. Oh! Oh my gosh. Favorite character still after all this time. It was starting to waver for a while, but nope. Favorite character. Favorite character. Sorry, Johnny boy. You're still not number one. But you're close. Oh. Oh, that was brilliant. Oh, that was so brilliant. Now she can... Now I finally get why we were doing all this. Because I was like, man, this fucking... Why do we gotta do this plot line? And fuck that. Fuck me. Fuck me, that was amazing. Oh. Fuck what I thought. That was awesome, and that was perfect, and I loved it. Oh my gosh. Now we have the Dothraki. And the Dothraki can take on any of the masters. And meanwhile, Tyrion's doing some 7-year adjustment shit. Oh my gosh. It's so beautiful. And she's so beautiful. Jesus. Ugh. And it's not just that she walked out of there naked. It's like, no, it's that she's fucking awesome. It's like, fuck, she just fucking in a heartbeat just wrecked all their shit and became like the god of the Dothraki. Oh, it was amazing. Amazing. Best episode of the season. Loved it. Oh, fuck. Oh, my nose is a little stuffy, but whatever. Okay. Let's talk about this episode. First off, we got a reunion. We got a reunion between Jon and Sansa. That is so cool. I love that. I love just the two of them just there. It's so nice. I don't even remember a moment between the two of them in the first episode, because that's when it would have to be. I'd have to go rewatch the first episode, but yeah, that was cool, seeing them reunite and being so happy to see each other. That was nice, because, you know, Jon has been so far removed from the main plot that it's like, now, finally, I mean, this is the first time, I think this is the first time he's seen any of his family. Yeah, I think this is the first time he's seen any of his family since the second episode when he departed from Ned. I think that's it. Other than that, I don't know. I don't think there has been another time. Like, he got close to seeing Bran and Rickon, but he didn't meet them. They saw him. So yeah. So that was just nice. Just the two of them with that big hug. That was nice. And seeing the two of them just interacting was fun. And they totally, like, they're so brother and sister. Like, that's the thing, too. They're so brother and sister. It works perfectly. And I like, too, you know, Sansa being like, I'm sorry I was horrible back then. He's like, you weren't horrible. Yes, I was. It's like, all right, you were a little horrible. That's just funny. Makes me now. See. Now I gotta go back. I want to listen to that entire conversation again, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna try to listen to part of it. I want to hear part of it because I gotta. It said something about Sansa being horrible. I don't remember what it was about though. Like, what was she horrible about? And
it's good soup.
The soup. It's not good soup.
Do you remember those kidney pies old man used to make?
With the peas and onions.
Reminiscing about Winterfell.
We never should have left Winterfell.
Yeah.
Don't you wish we could go back to the day we left?
Everything really went downhill from there.
Don't go, you idiot.
How could we know?
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time thinking about what an ass I was to you. I wish I could change everything.
We were children.
I was awful, just admit it.
You were occasionally awful. I'm sure I can't have been great fun, always sulking in the corner while the rest of you played.
That's funny. Alright, she didn't say what she was horrible about, but she just was. She just mean to him or something. So, that's kind of funny. I mean, because that's the thing, is you got to think, like, you know, when they were growing up, it had to be, there had to be some different dynamic between them, because he was their half brother, you know? He was the bastard. Ned Stark's bastard. That's the thing. So, maybe, I mean, there was obviously a disconnect between Jon and Catelyn. That was for damn sure. Catelyn never, like, accepted Jon at all. So, I don't know. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. But I also like Jon's little line of, you know, I wasn't much better. I was always off sulking in the corner while you all were playing. Of course, it makes me think, with how old Jon is and how old Robb was, I would imagine Jon and Robb would have hung out more. It's like, you know, like Robb's oldest sibling other than Jon was Sansa. Granted, Robb would probably have hung out with Theon because Theon was there, but I don't know. I would just imagine, especially because, you know, until Sansa was born, it would have just been Jon. That's the other thing too. So I don't know why I'm dissecting their family relationship, but it's just fun to think about. It's fun to think about the good old days before this fucking shit happened. Before all of this shit happened, basically. Ugh. So yeah. So much shit. Yeah, so the two of them back together, the two of them reuniting was really cool. I really like that. And yeah, I don't know. It's like one of the happiest scenes I've ever seen in this show. Is just the two of them reuniting. So yeah, and then also, I guess to kind of go ahead on, keep going on that. First off, Melisandre had that talk with Davos. You know, it's like, are you going to be staying at Castle Black? And Melisandre said, as long as Jon Snow is the Lord Commander. So that's the thing. She also said, like, you know, he is the prince that was promised. Which is interesting. He's not a prince. He's a bastard, but still. You know, you could interpret that, you know, probably a bunch of different ways, but, you know, the prince that was promised, well, that's a little iffy, but whatever. So, from what it sounds like, according to Melisandre, Jon is the savior, basically, that the Lord of Light wanted. You know, she must have misinterpreted the Lord of Light's teachings or something, and she interpreted it as being Stannis, but that was wrong. And, you know, and we've said, you know, across the world, you know, there are people in Essos that say that the savior is Daenerys. Now, she believes it's Jon, so she's going to be following Jon like she followed Stannis, basically. So that's interesting. I also noticed she was wearing a lot more. Like, you know, normally she just wears her dress, and, you know, they had that line, it's like, well, aren't you cold? And she's like, no, the light of the Lord of Light, you know, the light of my Lord keeps me warm. And they, like, touch her face, and sure enough, she's warm. Now she is definitely wearing a lot more clothes, so it's like, I think she's still being put through the tester on that. Like, her faith is still challenging, I guess. It's a weird way of saying it, but that's kind of it. Is that yes, she does still believe in the Lord of Light, but now her faith has been challenged. It's taking an effect, and I think that, and if that is the case, that's why she's wearing more clothes. That's a great little detail to put in there. That, you know, she is going through a hard time and, you know, challenging her faith, you know, questioning what she believes in. So now she's not warm anymore. So that's interesting. And then later on we saw Jon getting a letter from Ramsay addressing, you know, return my wife, you know, don't march the wildlings on Winterfell or we will destroy you and stuff like that. And even saying, I have Rickon Stark and he's locked away in my dungeon. And, you know, Jon went through this whole thing of, you know, I don't want to fight anymore. I'm done fighting. And now, pretty much immediately when, you know, they bring in that Ramsay is the Lord of Winterfell and, you know, he's controlling the north and he's going to kill all the wildlings, and he has Rickon. Especially, I think Rickon is the biggest thing that Jon's like, okay, then we have to go fight him. So, yeah, now it's kind of a thing. Jon and Sansa are going to face Ramsay at Winterfell, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's really interesting. And, you know, Jon doesn't have many people, just, you know, people, but he does have Tormund, and Tormund, you know, has, you know, some capable warriors amongst the wildlings, and it's like, okay, you know, how many, you know, from what we can tell, Ramsay has 5,000 men that he can use. Tormund has a couple thousand, maybe not quite to the numbers that Ramsay has, but enough. And so it's like, okay, so we have the wildlings, we can use them, but it's like, okay, but we're still kind of outnumbered on this. And Sansa brings up the good point. You are the last son, basically, even though, yes, Rickon is in a dungeon. It's like, you are the last free son of the true Warden of the North, Ned Stark. Like, you are the son of Ned Stark. If you ask the Northerners, they will support you. Because no one likes the fucking Boltons. That's the thing. You know, fuck the Karstarks. We don't care about them. But, yeah, ask around. The rest of the North you would think, the rest of the North, because that's always been the big thing throughout this entire show, is security of the North. Everyone, the Lannisters, the Tyrells, the Boltons, all of them, and pretty much all through Sansa, all of them have tried using marriage to a Stark to secure the North. All of them. Tyrion married Sansa. Loras was going to marry Sansa. Ramsay married Sansa. Every major house tries to get a Stark to solidify their control on the North, because the North follows a Stark. But Ramsay doesn't have Sansa anymore. He does have Rickon, and that is something we need to, be concerned about, that he has Rickon. But at the same time, Sansa has a point. Jon is, even if he is a bastard, he is the son of Ned Stark. The North will follow him. They'd rather follow him over Ramsay Bolton. So that's very obvious. And also, one house that is going to back somewhat. They don't really know they're backing Jon, but the Vale, House Arryn, and which in turn means House Tully as well. They are both going to face Ramsay Bolton at Winterfell. That seems to be almost the big thing of this season now, is that it seems like we're almost building towards that, and kind of carrying over from last season too, with Stannis going on to take Roose Bolton. It seems like this is pretty much what we're building up to, as a battle with Ramsay Bolton, which is crazy. And I love it. But the Vale seems to be, they're also going after the North. They're going to go after Ramsay. Right now, they think that they're going to save Sansa, because that's all they know. They haven't gotten the update that, Sansa is at the Wall now. But Baelish knows we need to take on the Boltons, and so he's using Robin Arryn and the Vale to go after Ramsay. So if you take the Vale, the other northern houses, Jon and the Wildlings, Ramsay now is at horrible odds. Granted, Ramsay is psychotically brilliant. Ramsay is a force to be reckoned with, but there's a reckoning coming for someone. I can't see Ramsay winning. I can see Ramsay doing some serious damage, but I can't see Ramsay actually winning against Jon and Sansa and Baelish and, Robin Arryn and the rest of the northern families and the Wildlings. It's like there's too many factors that it's like, okay, I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I like that we're kind of going back. We're basically just back north for a bit. It's like, we've kind of ignored the North for a long time, but now the North has become almost a central point of the show now. It's like, okay, here we go. It's not the central point. Obviously, we still have stuff in King's Landing. We still have stuff in Meereen and, Essos, but the North has become, a big player again, mostly through Ramsay. So, yeah, that's interesting. And it's just great that, we're going to have Jon finally go south of the Wall. Oh, alright. Alrighty. The 7 years adjustment, which may not be in effect anymore if Daenerys rides with her Dothraki to destroy all the Masters. 7 years adjustment. I can understand why Missandei and Grey Worm don't approve of it, because it's like, okay, well, you're still keeping slavery, and it's like, for, 7 years. But it is a smart move. It's a bit of a long-term strategy, basically. Instead of just outright abolishing slavery, we're going to gradually do it, Everyone gets to adjust, figure out how they're going to adapt to the new world. That does make sense. Again, I do understand when you look at both points, when you look at, Grey Worm and Missandei's stance and Tyrion's stance, both make excellent points. I lean a bit towards Tyrion's point just because he knows more of what he's doing, and, we've been following him for so long, so I trust him more. He really does know what he's doing, and his method does call for peace. That's the other thing, is that he is going more for peace, and he's going for a strategy that can work. Their strategy will lead to more war, and will lead to, more harpies, being created. So it is sort of, it does suck that, we would have to keep this for 7 years, and it is an adjustment, but I think Tyrion's way is actually the right way. I think he's thought it out a bit more. So, yeah. Let's see. Vaes Dothrak. I'm glad that did go to something. Yeah. So I kind of wrote that down just as a, well, what is she going to do? And that was an interesting way of doing that. And, yeah, I mean, we kind of already talked about this, but I just love how, she was captured by the Dothraki, and it seemed like, it was basically just going to be like, okay, she's over here while, Tyrion fixes Meereen and stuff like that, and then we're going to save her and go. And it's like, no, she had a plan, or she developed a plan at least. It's like, okay, she is going to take control of the Dothraki, basically. It's like they are all going to be under her control now. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. So, I did really like that. Loras and Marjorie, that was interesting. Loras is definitely breaking, and I would imagine he's almost, like, to the point where he's going to go for the Walk of Atonement. He might, but, Marjorie is trying to say, like, okay, if you can hang on, we will get out of here, we will be fine. But you need to stay strong, and he's breaking. He's really breaking. So, yeah. Marjorie has really kept her resolve and kept her head clear. Like, she is staying a lot stronger than any of them. Even Cersei sort of broke and, confessed to some of her sins, not all of them, and went through the Walk of Atonement. Marjorie seems to be stronger, which is actually kind of strange, but she seems to be holding out more, and, now she's trying to hold out for both herself and Loras. And hopefully they do long enough, because the army of the Tyrells are coming. And I like this plan. Yes, the Lannisters and the Tyrells, they have a lot of bad blood between them, especially recently. But at this point, I don't think any of that can really apply. I think even Cersei is like, okay, do I want Marjorie out of there? Honestly, probably not. But at the same time, she would rather have the Tyrells than the Sparrows. The Sparrows that humiliated her. The Sparrows that want to destroy her and her family and everything they've built. So I think she would rather take her chances with the Tyrells and, make peace rather than, make peace with the Sparrows, and the Tyrells are in because they want, Alina wants Loras and Marjorie back, but so that does mean at this point working with the Lannisters. So the plan right now is for the Tyrell armies to enter King's Landing, and basically for the Lannister armies and Kevin Lannister to just sort of stand down. Like, they're just not going to be involved with it. They stand down, the Tyrells come in and kill every single Sparrow and free Loras and Marjorie. It's a good plan. Hopefully it can work. I don't know. It's such a weird thing that I'm almost rooting for them, where it's like, you would think that the Sparrows would be sort of the good guys, but it's like, well, neither of them are good guys. I'm not saying the Lannisters are good guys, but it's like, I don't know, I'd rather root for them than for the Sparrows. So, I don't know. It's interesting. Yara and Theon, that was an interesting scene, and, it does make sense that she would think that, like, oh, he just came to, claim the crown and stuff like that. And it makes sense that, he comes back, is like, oh, I escaped, and it's like, I tried getting you out once and you didn't come. Now you decide to come back? So, yeah, but he's going to help her become, I guess, the queen of the Iron Islands. So that'll be good, at least. And then, yeah, Dany taking on, just burning the Khals. Why was that place so flammable? It looked like it was made of stone. So yeah, I guess it was all the coals or something that scattered, and then the actual wood building burst into flames, but still. But yeah, just her just walking out there and all them being like, shit, and like bowing. And it's like that, okay, because the past couple episodes I've said I am not a fan of her being taken by the Dothraki. It's like, okay, here's a little detour we have. Okay, fine. And I hated that because I love Daenerys. She is my favorite character. But finally, we got a point to this. It's like, okay, the point of this was her getting all the Dothraki to join her, basically. So that worked out. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Good episode. Really good episode. And yeah, I am curious to see where we go next time. So yeah, with that all being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Game of Thrones reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.